Ladies and gentlemen, let's enter into the last technical session, IT consideration in audit of CBS branches. I now request Mr. Anand P to escort our speaker, CA Anand P Jangid sir, onto the dais and present her with a bouquet. Anand P Jangid sir is a chartered accountant, certified information system auditor, certified information system manager and an approval certified professional. His area of specialization includes governance, risk and compliance, enterprise risk management, project management, designing and implementation of regulatory compliance framework, IT governance and management audits. He is a subject matter expert in the field of business and IT controls and forensic audit and analytics. He is a managing partner at Anand Jangid and Associates. He was part of the risk management team at Goldman Sachs, carrying multiple audits across much geography for different functions in the organization. His areas of specialization were Forex audit, DP audits, anti-money laundering, Basel II, BCP and operational risk. He has been involved in enterprise risk management, implementation and IT audit for many international projects at USA, UK, Japan, China, etc. He is visiting faculty for IIM Bangalore, teaching IS audit and fraud analytics. Speaker at North America Sachs and Euro Sachs of ISACA. He is a visiting faculty at ISACA, ICI and Wellington Institute of Management. He has presented papers on enterprise risk management and IT controls at various national and international forums. He has conducted many international workshops on enterprise risk management, have been involved in many educational and research engagement for Infosys Consulting Group, was a member of subcommittee for Infosys Consulting Group, was a member of subcommittee on information technology of Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, Bangalore chapter, is an active member of Young India. Ladies and gentlemen, with a huge round of applause, let's welcome our speaker, CA Anand P Jangid sir.
I know it's like the last session and you guys would be thinking how fast we can go back home. So I'll be actually, am I audible in the back? Yeah. So I will actually, already this presentation which I am sharing with you is already been shared in the branch and it will be uploaded on the site which you can download. It's a little bit bigger presentation, but I will try to make it that next 45 minutes I have, it's 5:45. So after 5:45, we can have question answer sessions if required. If nothing is clear then, and we will be discussing all these points, okay? So I am actually going to focus on a very specific thing, that is, what are the key considerations when you are doing a bank branch audit? Now, first thing first, how many of you have already done a bank branch audit? Yeah, I see a lot of hands going up. So good experience, right? Yeah, I enjoyed it, So one of the reasons I did CA is because of bank branch audit only. I'm not joking, seriously. Like when I passed my foundation examination, that time it was foundation, I was thinking at one point, like, who are the foundation students? Like basically your 12th or first year BCom guys are foundation student, CPT or what you can say. And suddenly from college you go to office. And how do you feel? It's very, upsetting kind of situation, right? That what you are doing, they will give you a calculator and papers and to check all these things. College life is fun. And then I was actually thinking, CA is Bakwas course, let me just do something else, do MBA, they will get quote also. Have you seen MBA guys get a quote also? So, I was under the impression that, I should leave this course. And then suddenly, bank branch audit happened. Second month of my articleship, my boss said, okay, we'll go for bank branch audit. And just like your first love, you won't forget your first bank branch audit. So all of you remember your first bank branch audit? Like my first bank branch audit was somewhere in Shimoga, near Shimoga, a place called Shivni, very small village. and there was a corporation bank branch audit. And we went there, and the bank manager was standing outside with coconut water to welcome you. And I'm not joking, seriously, you can verify everything what I was saying. You're an auditor, you should audit what I was saying. And I was like, oh my God, this is the treatment you get. Let's do CA, okay? So, otherwise I would have not done CA. I'm telling you, I would have been doing, code and MBA. It was fun, okay? But the point which I'm trying to make it is, that time was different. Because I'm talking about 1998, 2000, that time. And that time when I used to do branch audit, what I used to do, you won't believe what we used to do. My boss used to give me something called as do compound interest calculation. Okay, so anyone knows how to do compound interest calculation? So we used to get calculator and do compound interest calculation in ledger book, black color ledger book, which you can actually use it for like bodybuilding, shoplifting. That was the happy stuff which is there. And from there we have come to something where there's no books. Everything is on the system. Now it's actually a great opportunity. The reason why it is a great opportunity, think of the way you can do audit. And with all due respect, honestly tell me, put your hand on your hearts, who do branch audit? Articles or partners? Articles. Yes. So you should give yourself a round of applause. You are the hard-working guys. Yeah. Chartered accountants are all useless. They don't do anything. So it's not recorded, right? It's recorded. See, this is why I don't like my recording and all. Because people will take offense. I have one more speech to give at the chartered accountant session also on same bank audit. Okay? Then net, you guys will be doing it. So friends, no, I'm still telling you, in my office also, my articles knows more than me because you guys are more updated, and that's why you should be actually leading it up. The reason why I'm telling you it's very important this time or not this time, last few years, you are seeing a lot of cases where what happens if you don't do your job properly. There have been cases where FIR are being put against chartered accountant for not doing their stuff properly. You can check it out once. News is there on google.com. Dodda Chinnahali branch near Bangalore. There was a fraud which happened. It was a 4 crore branch. Advances was only 4 crore. Agriculture branch, 2 crore rupees fraud. And when the FIR was put, there was a name of the branch auditors. So you need to understand that you have a power to send your boss to jail. Okay? If you don't do your job properly, you have a power to send him to jail. Okay? So if you like your boss a little bit also, please be nice to them, and that's why you should be focusing on what I'm going to tell you. And I'm telling you, change the approach. Most of the time, the traditional way of doing audit is not going to work anymore, and that's what we are trying to tell you. So, it's not working. Okay, listen to the agenda very quickly. Check in some of the key points which you need to understand. Understanding CBS. When I say understanding CBS, a basic, I'm sure, many of you have done concurrent audit here, friends. Any one of you? Concurrent audit? Yeah, few of you. Great. So you already understand CBS is like another ERP or what we say cross-functional system, and you can think of that. But there are some fundamentals. We don't have to become expert in CBS. We need to know from an audit perspective what are the things we require and then use them effectively. See, should you do a smart audit or a hard work audit? Smart audit. So let's try to use it for smart audit. I'll spend a little more time on planning consideration. This is something which is very interesting. Now, I'm sure by now all of your office have got allocation of branches, and I'm sure the planning which is going on right now is something like this. On first we will not go, second we will all go for that. It's actually one fundamental wrong thing. We have, our firm also have got around 2-3 branches. We are actually sending all our requirement. Already yesterday we have sent them all the requirement which we want, and already this is called pre-visit. By the way, I hope you know in branch audit all your TAD is taken care of bank, so there's no problem, right? You should enjoy it well. So you should go to the branches now, not go during the second day. By that time everything would be cleaned up. You should be actually planning it up, going before that, and there should be, they'll be talking about maybe by 31st you should be at the branch, and then people will ask questions and go, 31st how we can go? That's tomorrow, right? because that day they are working. They are working, yes. But there are a lot of pre-requirement of any audit. All of you know SA 200? What is SA 200? Yes, there are audit consideration. What is the consideration when you are doing an audit? One of the key thing is planning. You should be actually going there beforehand and see. I'll be talking about the planning consideration. Some macro factors and some micro factors. When I say macro factors, some of the things like how many of you know this time it's going to be very interesting on certificates. Okay, so all our friends who have done certification, I just want to bring up some basic points here. I hope you know when you are doing an audit of a bank branch, it's more of a balance sheet items or P&L items? Balance sheet items, more of that. Apart from, you have two things you do it. One is called LFAR, right? Long form audit report, which is last year you copy paste, right? Or something else. No, so you write it down. Okay, so let me ask you a question. What is the meaning of NA in LFAR? N.A? It may be not available also. You don't know. If you are seeing the last year and filling it up, this is the problem which will happen. Okay? So we need to understand it very clearly. Now, one of the challenges, I always say in my class also, when you are doing an audit, audit is an independent examination of facts and figure with an ultimate objective of giving an opinion, which means your boss opinion, my boss opinion, someone else's boss opinion may be different on the same part of the thing. But you also issue a lot of certificate in bank audit. Are you aware of that? There is something called as this Ghosh committee, Jilani committee. They have died, but their names are still there. Okay. So Jilani is so famous that around 1 month back I was going to Udupi by car, and on the way I saw one bus with Jilani transport. The only thing came to my mind was what? Jilani committee report. Okay. So Ghosh committee, Jilani committee, these are certificates. So all of you know, certificate are true or fair or true and correct? True and correct. So I am challenging you, do this time this one. I will be sharing a list of certificate will be issuing. One of the certificate is capital adequacy certificate. And what people don't understand is, none of the capital adequacy certificate data comes from core banking system. How many of you know that it doesn't come from core banking system, but it comes from add-on. Add-ons are basically like software which are attached to that to get the data out. And it's very easy, the bankers can do massaging of the data and give it to you. How do you trust that? You can't trust any data which is coming out of the system. There are some myths which you should understand and validate and do a good audit. Okay? So that would be macro and micro factors and then check. These are some new headlines which I thought I'll share with you. Can you see this number out here? United Bank, UBI, blames Infosys software for wrong NPA entries. So they are saying the software was not good, so our NPAs are wrong. And then again, this news is Feb 19th. Can you see this? Feb 21st they are saying, no issue with Finacle. So either UBI is wrong or Finacle is wrong. Who do I trust? And you are going to be future chartered accountant. There is a kind of question being raised on all of us. See this term which is there. It's actually a statement made by Deputy Governor of RBI. He said, if RBI inspectors are able to identify this divergence in asset quality in a limited time frame, why the bank auditors are not able to do it? Which means somewhere there is a question being raised on all of you. That as a future chartered accountant or a chartered accountant, you guys are not good enough, or you don't do your job properly. And that's a serious allegation coming from the top regulator. So tomorrow, maybe, if now you don't do your job properly, a time will come when you become a chartered accountant, there is no way bank audit. They say bank, auditors are useless people, they don't do their work properly. I'm just telling you, I'm not telling you they are useless people. They may say that, okay? And this shows the way regulators are looking at us. So we have a kind of a responsibility to do that in a proper manner, not just chalta attitude. We have to, like, it's not like solpa just mari, what do you call it, no. It has to be done. You are doing an audit and there's a big responsibility on all of you. Okay? See, audit objectives have not changed, but the methodology has. You can't use the methodology which your bosses learned when they started doing bank branch audit. Now, there is a time when you should use technology to the best of your knowledge. I would suggest if you can use 3-4 technology like Excel, CAM card scanner and all these kind of things, it will actually make your life much easier, much faster and doing it in a better way. So, let me ask you, how many of you are aware of this some of the cases which are there. Parents Bank, Society General, Event, PNB. PNB, come on, Nirav Modi is very famous, right? He's wearing ostrich, what is that jacket? Made out of ostrich skin. He's like so rich guy. So, why these all things are very important? What's happening is, this is what we call as the wind of change. All these cases which are there, directly or indirectly, auditors were impacted because of this. Gone are the days when, remember in final we have this question comes, 8 marks in auditing, which says, auditor is a watchdog, not a bloodhound. Remember? Yeah, which case law is this? Kingston Mill case, if you remember. And which year is the case law? Anyone? Come on, if you give me the right answer, I'll give you a chocolate from there. Correct, exact year. Anyone knows? Kingston Mill. 1861, something around that. I also don't know this, I don't know how future of this. Okay? So the point what I'm trying to say is, that case law can't hold it. There are new case laws which are coming, which are telling that the way we do audit, auditors are becoming responsible. In fact, you would be shocked to know, the bank audit season started. Our institute offers something called indemnity insurance. Have you heard of indemnity insurance? That if I do any work wrongly and there is a case filed against me, what will happen? You can take an insurance. So institute is offering indemnity insurance, and suddenly last 3 months, I'm not joking, you can Google it. And by the way, I'm not getting any commission from institute, I'm telling you the truth. Okay? So I'm just telling you, in that case, there is a 7,500 rupees you have to pay, and something around 1 crore rupees insurance you get. That if a case is filed against you, you will get 1 crore rupees, okay, to cover all the illegal expenses. Indemnity insurance demand has gone high now. More and more auditors are taking indemnity insurance because times are changing, okay. So, some of the backgrounds which you should be actually covering before we start with the thing is, how many of you know that a bank is also a company under the Companies Act 2013? Yes. And if you know section 143(9), which says auditing standards are applicable to all auditing standards issued by Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, which means the whole of SA series which you learn in auditing, you should be applying it up. And more importantly, I would say SA 315, where you do when you are doing risk, evaluating risk in planning an audit. SA 240, which says this is auditor responsibility to cover what? Fraud or anything which could have happened. And what we call as SA 230, I have not given it, audit documentations. Plus, there are 447 which talks about if there is a fraud, you need to report. These are all the sections which we should know when you are doing it up. Just don't see it from a banking perspective, there is also Companies Act perspective. We have to be aware of everything. And let me ask you one thing. All the allocation of audit which has happened, have you guys got in your office a mail from Central Statutory Auditors? Yes, everyone is getting a Central Statutory Auditors mail. Plus, in some places, Central Statutory Auditors are calling all the auditors for a meeting, because this time they are also very scared about that. If you do a wrong job, it can actually go a long way. So that's very important, a big responsibility on all of us. Okay? So purpose of this session, which I will actually try to cover it. First, make sure it is not only IS consideration. It is an integrated approach. You are actually doing an audit in an IT environment. It is not an IS audit, it's an environment is IT environment. So it is not an IS audit, it is only the IT controls we need to look into. When I say IT controls, let me explain you one point. How many of you know a term called exceptions? All of you know exceptions? How many of you know that if you go and check out, just like in Tally you see, negative cash and all the things you see, right? How many of you know there is a complete module for auditors in every CBS? There are 3 main CBS which are going to be there, either Finacle, banks, or the third one is called FlexTube. Whichever you are using, friends, be sure in that part you are going to have an AIS module, Auditor Information System they call it. All the exceptions are going to be there. What you need is to focus on that area. See, if you start with an exception-based auditing, first thing, your time is very limited. How many days you are getting for doing the audit? 3 days is a mental block which CS have countered. But see, if your boss says you have to finish in 3 days, sir, can I see the appointment letter? In appointment letter, actually on average they are giving around 13 to 18 days average. So we are ready for camera time. They have given us time till 18th of April. So I'm not just making it up and telling you, you have time. So this is like a, everyone wants to maximize their return on investment. They want to finish it and make you work extra hard and all thing. That is a different thing. But please understand, you have still time. Do a good job. Don't try to hurry. 3 days used to be there, 7-8 years back. Now the timeline is little flexible. On average, everyone, check out the appointment letter. You have all the rights to do it. Ultimately, you are going to do the audit, okay? So you have time. So you need to understand that part. Plan the test key aspect of branch audit very clearly. And this part is there. How can you use some IT tool to accelerate these are called accelerators, which will make your life easier. If you do 1 or 2 days of planning, this will help you in terms of doing it better. I'm sure from the full day you have to discuss on IRAC norms and all the things, so you know that. But I'll be actually not trying to focus on all the things. I'll focus on what are the tools you can use it to make your life easier, faster, and what are the areas you should go and check this out. Okay? These are the key circulars. You can't see it. Intentionally I made the font size very small. Okay. But in the presentation it is there. You can go through it. These are all related to IT controls which are there. I hope you know these are the key deliverables which are there in any kind of audit. Branch audit report, audit return. My favorite is MOC. What is this MOC? Anyone? That is. Come on. Tell me exactly what it is. What is you? It's like what you want to change and anything. And basically, last time onwards, what I'm seeing a very good, healthy trend. People like auditors are asking for extra papers. Like in examination, you ask for extra papers. People are filling up MOCs like anything. That's a good thing. You should actually ask for extra paper. If you're not filling MOCs properly, you have not done a good job. At least you should have 20 papers annexures in the MOC, okay? And LFAR certificates, very dangerous. I'm telling you, why they are very dangerous, let me explain you. I'm challenging you to go back and see the last year audit documentation which you have. And ask your bosses, sir, what is the certificate we gave for capital adequacy? There's one certificate you give for capital adequacy. And I'm challenging friends, I'm openly telling this, you will not find any working papers from your bosses on this. And that's a bad thing. Why? Because this data is very important. You are issuing a certificate just based on, and bankers are also doing a little bit of badmashi. They'll bring all the certificate the moment you are ready to leave home, okay? Before that they will not come. So let's say it's 5 o'clock in the evening, then they'll say, sir, this certificate also you have to sign. And you are in a hurry to go home, so what will happen? You will not sign, your bosses will sign, but you should tell boss, no sir, don't do it. You should be like, the person who's telling their boss, sir, these are all dangerous, you should tell them, this is not to be signed. And certificate means you are actually giving true and correct, which is very, very important thing. Okay? Let me go. Okay, these are the key audit objectives which are there. I hope you know, this last 2 parts are very important. Exceptional events and fraud indicators. Are you aware of that? You have to report on fraud indicators, which means they are not fraud which has happened, but you think that there are some indicators which tells us something is not okay in the branch. And that's something which you need to look into that. Like for example, how many of you know in core banking systems, which we'll be discussing a little later, the system will actually do classification of NPA automatically. Are you aware of this part? Yes. But how many of you know that it is also possible that I can do a manual override? What do you mean by manual override? Even if the system is saying this account is NPA, I can log on and say it is not an NPA. Like substandard asset or anything, I can play with the classification. Now if anything like that happens, how can I trust what is coming out of the system, right? But for that purpose, we have something called as the exceptions reporting. Just like in Tally, we have this Tally module which is there, which says these are negative caches of this days. You can actually look into that. Yeah, these are the audit challenges. Time constraint, determine right source of information. This is very, very problematic. When I say right source of information, if you go into CBS, there will be 2 reports for the same thing. Now, which one is the final report? Okay? This becomes another big problem. I'll be actually explaining with example. Gaining to confidence to navigate through CBS. Now here, I want to show a small video, which is my favorite video, because that's what everyone is doing when they are doing this audit in CBS environment. Okay? So let me show you this small video and then we will go back. Okay. So this is what is happening in every bank branch audit, okay? I'm not joking, you know, there is so much of features which are there, but again our people will go and they say give us printout for this, give us printout for this. This is not the printout which is important. By the way, do you know that printout also you should not take it printout as evidence. From an audit documentation perspective, everything which you are getting from the branch should be mailed from their account, your email account. Don't take any printout or on USB or pen drive. This is not an evidence. Under what? Audit evidence? It has to be attributed to that person. How can you attribute it? Please don't take it. So that's it. Oh, this is still not one. Okay. 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 Stand. I'm actually kind of blind because this is okay. Okay, so here we have this gaining the confidence to navigate. I'm telling you, how do you gain the what I call as evidence or confidence to do that? Now, how many of you know that complete commands of Finacle are already there on the websites? If you don't get it something, I'll give my mail ID and you can drop your mail, I'll send you all the things. There are full manuals. Then I'm telling you, whatever branch you are doing the audit, ask for the concurrent auditors to give the audit manual. How many of you, like some of the hands went out for concurrent audit, right? Concurrent audit people? Yes. Ma'am, is there a manual which is given to you from the bank? There is a concurrent audit manual book is there. Which bank was that? Syndicate Bank. So be nice to madam, she will give you that. Yeah, I'm just telling you, you have friend circle, I think you are better network than your CA friend. You can actually just get the things. And it has already all the commands, right ma'am? What command to get what? You have to just Control C, Control F. Like search for, I want all the P&L account. Control F, you can find all the Excel sheets. So that's a manual, you should be using it. It's just, and in the CA friendly, it's very easy to get this manual and start using it. You can ask the bank also if they want it, but you have to plan it ahead and all things. Tracing the audit trail. Now this audit trail is very important, okay? The challenge comes, you know what friends, where maximum is on add-ons. I'll be actually telling you the core banking system, main core banking system is very stable. But there are a lot of add-ons which are put onto that. That area is very, very tricky. I don't trust most of the data which is coming out of that, okay? Then getting required information on time. Like I will tell you, if you want to do an experiment, try it out. Send all the information on day one. Just see, all the information will come, but on the last day. Okay? When you are ready to leave. And anyway, I hope you know bank audit, they'll take you to the farther placed for lunch and other thing. They will always waste your time. You know what they will do is, like for lunchtime, 12 o'clock, they'll say, sir, there is a dhaba, 30 kilometers away from here, we'll go there for the lunch. And if you go there, after that food, can you come back and work? No. So 30 kilometers means 1 hour to go, 1 hour to come, and 1 hour for your meal. So it's becoming very important. And challenging getting the data for analysis, that is another big issue. So anyway, I skip this slide. These are the myths in CBS system, which I thought I'll break it up, that makes things easier. First, computerized system is foolproof. I hope you have understood from my perspective so far, it's not foolproof. If it is coming off the system also, take it with a pinch of salt, point number one. Point number two, no need to control review as controls are inbuilt. This is again a big issue. I'll tell you one very bad thing which I have seen in what CAs are putting it up. Have you heard what they will say that in Jilani committee they have something that you have to mention it on? Business continuity plan is there or not? Remember that point? There's a point. Now most of the people will write, you know what? BCP is taken care by head office. because the last auditor also put the same thing, you also put the same thing. No, that is not true. If it had been taken care by the head office, they would have not asked you that certificate. So this is all very important. You have to ask question many times. See, this is one very important thing. Staff and operator have full knowledge of operation. That is wrong. Nowadays, when you go and meet, most of the bank branch managers are very young guys. You rarely meet oldies and all things. They themselves doesn't know. Like for example, it happened with one of my friends who went for the audit last time. The bank manager told him, you can't audit staff accounts. They are personal accounts of us. Okay? And that is bullshit. You understand that, right? It is not something, you as an auditor you have a right to check on it. But they think they know. But you should be actually extra smart, otherwise they'll take you for a ride. So then audit in compliance environment requires more technical knowledge? No. I will just show you, you have to just do something called as exception reporting, nothing else. You have to just know the command to execute and take it down and do your analysis. No other stuff which is there. Now, no data can be made available except disclosed by branch so modo. This is wrong. You will be shocked, I am just telling you, Finacle standard version has close to, standard version I am telling you, has close to 2000 plus exception reports. Do you know there is something called a daily exception report which is generated? There are something called monthly exception report, so much of thing. If you just cover the exception report also very well, your work is over. And the problem which happens is, most of the time, I hope you know, anyone has worked on SAP or Oracle here? No? So, sir in the back has worked on SAP and you know, is customized. Core banking systems are customized. So, what command is working? Why I asked you to take it from Syndicate Bank, madam? If Finacle is implemented, I think they are on FlexView. So, Syndicate Bank is on FlexView, there is another bank on FlexView. See, all these things. Here are the things. These are the banks which are on Finacle. These are on banks, these are on this. Syndicate Bank, Canada Bank, both are there or there. I am doing audit for Canada Bank. If I try to use the same command madam is using, it may not work there. Because there are standard command also and there are customized command also. So you need to understand it very well, which bank's software you are doing and working it out. So this is thing. And the last one I told you, this is a myth. What is the myth which I told you, friends? MPAs are system generated. No, it is not system generated. It is generated by humans. Humans can tamper with that, change it up and do whatever they can want to do. Okay? So these are the CBS product I already told you. And these are the add-ons which I was telling you. Can you see? Asset classification and NPA provisioning is not part of the CBS. It is an add-on, which means it is being added out there as separately. Now why these add-ons are there? Any idea? See friends, you need to understand the core banking system is a very robust system. You can't do every year changes to that. Okay? So wherever there are going to be a lot of changes, that area you try to put as an add-on. So it becomes easier for you to basically manage it. So all these things are something which should be aware of. Okay? But I'm just skipping some of the slide which you wrote. Okay? Here we can start. We can start from, let me cover all the things where all the audit consideration from a perspective of what we call as core banking system, what are the things you need to look at. Let's start with the planning part. When you are doing the planning, friends, how many of you heard of this term called audit universe? You have exactly, if you see one branch, you have 4 to 5 days on an average. Okay, that's the kind of day you can keep it up. 4 to 5 days. If you take into account, from first your team members are there. Okay. First day will go in actually getting all the data. What are the data you require? Last year, reports. You require also revenue audit report, any other report audit which is done. If there is an RBI inspection, all these things. Just to collect data, one day will be lost. So I would suggest you should go there ASAP. First, you should be there at the branch. Then only you can actually use it out. And nowadays, I'm just telling you what we are doing. We are sending people on 31st only with one very important audit tool. You know what is that? Mobile phone. Okay. So we have installed a cam card. How about this cam card scanner? Okay. Please use that. It's a good tool of making an audit documentation. And their work is they go there and they're doing any manual books and all things. Just take the pictures and send it back to the office so that the other team members are prepared before they can start the work. Okay? It's a very good way of being ready. I'm telling you, your one day, all journey and everything and food and everything, they'll waste it up. And you will notice, day one you go, and I'm telling you, whatever approach I'm telling you, it will be like this. Day one, bank manager will be very happy to see you. By day 5, he will hate you like anything. But anyway, we are not going to have any kind of relationship building exercise, right? Whatever bank manager you are dealing with, never in your life you will deal with him again. So don't try to be nicey and be good to him, okay? You are there. Like, first of all, remember one thing, no one likes auditors. Seriously, apart from your family, no one likes you, okay? And if you start auditing them, they will also not like you. So, know your audit universe, what you are auditing. Very important. You should know your audit universe, what you are auditing, and IT dependency. Like, for example, I will give you an example. I'm sure if you are going, we call it 5 by 5. Okay? If you want to finish one branch of average 10 crore advances, you require 5 team members for 5 days. That is called 5 by 5 is the best planning method which is there, and that's how you should be planning it. So there you can actually get in your audit universe what are the areas everyone is checking it up, and from a perspective of, let's say, IRAC norms, you are checking it up. I will be telling you there are clear things which are called audit of parameters and audit of transactions. I'll explain you what is audit of parameters and audit of transactions. First thing is that why this account has to be classified as NPA or non-NPA, that is audit of transaction based on that. But tell me one thing, is it possible someone has tampered with a parameter only? When I say parameter, you will set a parameter more than 90 days or more than 80 days. If someone just change it to 30 days or I'm just telling 180 days, this means you need to check at the parameters also. We'll be giving example. So I need to understand my complete planning, what are the things which I'm going to audit, who is going to audit it up, and what are the key things which you need to look into. Then your design part which is there. So which is nothing but all the procedures you are going to do it. Remember, you have to document everything as per SA 230, all your audit procedures. Now, even after doing the audit procedure, if you don't find a fraud, we are not responsible. But we have done our job properly. So it's very important we actually define it up. And resource and time planning. How much resources you are going to put it up, how much time you are going to spend for each area. Because this is like CA examination. Every marks 1.8 minutes. That's how you should plan. So you are having 5 days and you should work it out. So understand the audit universe. What is the level of automation? What are the things? Sometimes there can be very funny things which can happen to you. How many of you know that you are supposed to comment on ATM operations also, wherever the branch is an attached ATM? Are you aware of that? Yes? Now, ATM operations, it can be funny. Like, anyone who was going to do audit for Corporation Bank here? No one? Corporation Bank said, no, auditor should not come only. Okay, so Corporation Bank has some biggest problem in their ATM switch. What is the problem? Let's say there is a bank, Corporation Bank, and this is an ATM outside and the branch is there in the same building. You go to the bank on Saturday or Sunday when the bank is half day. First, you should go to the ATM. Let's say your account has 30,000 rupees. Go to the ATM, withdraw 25,000 rupees. Okay? Then you go to the branch and give a check for 25,000 rupees. You will be able to withdraw that money. You can try it. I have tried it. By now they would have fixed it because I tried it 3 years back. I don't know. I'm not an auditor. That's why I ask anyone who knows. They can actually check it out this time. And, you know, bank audit is fun. Like you know, my time we didn't have selfie stick. Okay. Now we like don't do this, but I really get inspired to check all those things because the problem is in Corporation Bank they do a batch processing. Do you know you learned in your ISPAT and some batch processing and thing? Batch processing, every 3 hours the batch runs, and on Sunday it doesn't run. So if you withdraw it out, what happens? So the batch is not updated. So because of which you can actually withdraw 50,000. Then the bank manager will call you, sir, please give the money back. But it's interesting. These are the weakness in the system. You are getting my point. As an auditor, we should be actually looking into that. So the point which I'm saying is, if you don't check all these things, these are areas which we should be focusing on. Okay. Understand the control environment. This is very important. I would suggest, I'm actually telling, anyway this presentation is on the web also, I put it up. You should do a formal opening meeting. Usually what happens is people just go and start work. No. See, you have to take yourself, let me ask you one thing. Don't you think if you take yourself as I am important, people will treat you the same way? The way you treat yourself, the people will treat you the same way. Do you agree to that or not? Yes? You have to take yourself seriously, then people will take you seriously. If you just go there and just start and all the thing doesn't make sense. Go forward in that. At least you should have an opening meeting and make the minutes of the meeting. MOM. This is actually shows that yes, it's a professional approach. We have come, these are the things we are doing, these are our team members and all things. You should go with a very formal approach. It makes a lot of impact. You know, first impression is everything. Just going, walking in and just starting doing it, that's not the way. You should have a proper thing where you understand everything from that, what you are going to do, any key concerns, everything you can set the expectation very well. And then branch walkthrough, okay. So, some of my friends who have done bank branch audit, what is your favorite audit procedure? Anyone? I'll tell you mine. Cash verifications. Like every branch will have around 4 or 5 crores of cash. And they will take you to the room and then you will do cash verification. So you should go for doing it, but I know some people have started doing it which you should not do. They'll go with selfie stick. And when they're counting, they'll just say, don't do all the things, okay? That's a very professional. You know, I also would love to do it. Because on my, imagine on my Insta how much followers I get by showing so much of cash. But don't do all the things, okay? Okay. These are the inefficiencies or inefficiencies addressed in CBS. I'll give you one example. Think of all the data in core banking system as two set of data. Master data, transaction data. Master data is all the profiles of the borrowers and all that kind of stuff. Then what are the transactions? You can get all these things if provided you have the auditor user ID password. Don't use the manager user ID password. This is always I tell you. Like many times they will say, oh, for sharing purpose, you take this ID also and this ID also. That ID will not show the actual picture. Please take auditor's user ID. Because all the exception reporting only you can see it, manager cannot see it also. Okay? So we need to know about first borrower profiles downstream. Second, computation. See the word, interest computation. Why should I check this? Let me give you one example. Remember now you have to comment on fraud, and there is one very interesting material which is there, you can go and download from Institute website. And that would be your best audit planning document which you can use. You know what is a document? Go to ICID.org, go to a subcommittee called GDAB, Global Digital Accounting and Assurance Board, and they have a paper called Early Warning Signals for Fraud in Bank. I hope sure already your bosses have given you this one guidance note from Institute, which is very fat and all the things, and control F and you can search anything which you want. But I would suggest that is good document, not a bad document. But if you want to areas which you want to audit, remember I told you the audit universe. Let me see if I can show you to this document is already there. I have it. Let me show you. This is actually a very interesting document. This is how it works, because my system is not doing it. This is early warning banking, fraud of banking sector. So what it has is this. I'll just show you. The index if you use, this is the index friends here. From index if you use, everything what you require to audit in the audit universe is out there. My suggestion is this is you can use it as what? Summary notes of whatever is there in the guidance note. This is actually a complete summary note. What area, what to look into. That's all. So it makes life easier for everyone. Okay? So this is something which I thought you should be using it per se. And there is one very interesting case. You know interest calculation we are talking about? Now interest calculation, what should I look into? Now let me tell you one of the case. I can't disclose where this case happened because we have an NDA for that. And we work on forensic audit area. Is it possible that I am a director of a bank and I take a loan from the bank? Is it possible? No. There's a clear thing from RBI, you can't take it. Point one. I can't name it the bank, but you can just say that in one incident which has happened, that one of the director of one of the PSU has taken a loan of 50 lakh rupees. Let's assume, I'm not name please to it. Let's assume there's a bank where I have taken a loan of 50 lakhs. Now, I am a director, I say I am not paying this money. So what do? I go to the CEO and say, boss, I am not going to pay this money. Do whatever you want to do. And if you try to take the money from me, I will do something else in the board meeting and all. So the CEO also don't want to mess with you. So what the CEO did is, he did something like that. Finacle, anyone has audited in Finacle? No? Someone? In Finacle, you can actually fix up the interest rate. These are all codes. AA, A1, A2, A3, like that you can make code. So a new code was created called, let's say, X1 or X2. And they put the interest rate as minus 25%. Are you getting my point? What will happen if it is minus 25%? It will normally knock off. The entry would be what? Every month, interest entry would be negative entry. Automatically it get knocked off. So ultimately this is a computer. You can do anything which you want to do it. So it's very important to understand all these parameters of interest and other thing. Any workflow which is partial, now means humanly anyone can tamper it, that has to be looked into carefully. Transactions in multi-delivery channel, and this is one very interesting thing. Let's just see this thing. Transaction hitting in real time and end of data coming. End of the EOD is always called as, I hope you know banking terminology, there is something called start of day, end of day. So some data will come end of the day and some data will come in real time. I gave you this example of Corporation Bank. It's actually batch processing kind of situation which can be there. You need to understand where is the data coming from, what time it is coming and how it has to be managed. And any kind of opportunity of bypass and manual intervention. There are a lot of bypass which are there. Okay, let me give you one very interesting bypass. How many of you know that there are something called a suspense account? A lot of suspense accounts are there in your CBS system. Now, what happens is, when auditors started asking what are the suspense account, they said let's change the name of suspense account. So now what are the new names of suspense account? Anyone? It is called parking account, control account. One very interesting I know is suspense parking. View account. Some names people will come up with their own thing. But ultimately it is what? Suspense account. And as an auditor, don't you think suspense should be nil? If any suspense is there, then it means what? Something is fishy. Okay? That's it. And all the escalations, alerts, view. Please read all the exception report, daily exception report carefully. At least one of your person, you should put him, it will take 5 hours, whole year exceptions, he can just go through it once. It will give you a complete idea of what is happening in the branch, how they are doing it, everything you will understand. Okay? It is something like the back end of the program. And you have to list down all the heads of account which are affected by CBS, all the international, external interfaces, all the reconciliations which are there. Okay, reconciliation with subsystem. I hope you know, core banking systems are developed on a concept of ledger and subledgers. And each subledgers are independent of the consolidation part. It is very important that someone has to do this, ledger subledger reconciliation. That's something which I was telling you has to be looked into. And plan your testing accordingly based on what is the concept we have, materiality. So all your functions which are doing it, you can do it. How many of you know one technique of sampling called Benford law? No? How many have seen the movie Accountant? The Accountant. You know there's a movie on us. Yeah? Anyone has seen it? Okay. 2 people only? 3 people? Go on Amazon Prime and watch the movie before you go for audit. Okay? So in that movie, do they show that he used some technique called Benford law to find the fraud? So you know what? You should be very proud of. Batman is accountant. Ben Affleck, who plays Batman role, is the accountant in that movie. So you should be very proud of that. All of you think yourself as Spider-Man, Batman, or Superman, whatever you want to do. And so you should be actually knowing that there are techniques called Benford law and other things which you can use it for doing it based on material. This is the area where you should leverage CBS. I know I am short of time. 5 minutes or more I will take it. I hope it's okay, friends. Yeah? Then we'll take question answer, and anyway the slides I will give you. This one slide is a little important which I wanted to share with all of you. It says first and foremost is you should know what are the CBS features are there and what you can use for your audit. This is very important. I'm telling you, if you can do this planning over this weekend, tomorrow and day after tomorrow, you would do one of the best audit which you have done it. And don't you think it is always good to learn from others' mistakes? So all the mistakes you should do in the article sheet then, so your boss only suffers, not you. So that when you guys become chartered accountant, you can do better audits. So that is first thing. Second is, you should know all the key command lines and menu options. That is the audit module. And that's why I said, if you are doing syndicate bank, be nice with madam, she can share with you. If you are others, I will also be nice with madam. Madam, I will be nice, one copy for me also. Okay, so you should actually take that audit module copy and go through it, understand it. This third point is very interesting. See the word, standing data and parameters. Standing data is nothing but, it's actually not standing there. Standing data is like master data, which doesn't change very frequently. And parameter file, I told you this minus thing and all thing, you should understand. Now I'll give you one of the very interesting things. In some banks, Finacle, this changes of audit or what we call as interest rate can be done at head office only, not at branch. There are some banks it can be done only at head office and regional office. And there is one bank, I will not name it, where you can do anywhere you want to do it. Like no one is controlling it up. So if no one is controlling, then you have to be more careful in your audit procedures. Make sure that is done. Or learn all the kind of report and how to extract the report for the purpose. That is another key thing. And I hope you know all the reports will come in which format? Either TXT format, CSV format, or PRN format. How much you know PRN format? It's a very old print format which is there. It's like a TXT only. One of the biggest tasks, you should have one person in your team who should be ready to just do this conversion of all this material into what? Excel. That is one big task which has to be there. Okay? Then filtering the report to the logic which you are going to do and how to use all these features of Excel. I don't want to go into it. I am sure you are all expert on that. You can go to the institute website. There's one nice material on how to use Excel for audit tools. All these commands are there, and I'm sure you have ITT also, so you all know that. Please use all of these commands to be able to do that. Okay? And this is the audit method and technology you should use. Interview and observation. Observation is very important. Just see them. And one of my friend does extreme. Okay? He will send one of his article on 31st and 1st beforehand, and his like the dictate given to the article is only nothing. One of the smart article he send. Just be there and observe them what they are doing, because all the window dressing will happen before auditor comes. And like if you go and tell your boss today, sir, I will go on 31st and 1st, and your boss calls out the bank manager will be very unhappy. I'm not joking. Because see, you are not allowing him to do anything, so he will be actually very unhappy. So that's something which you need to do. Samplings, what are the things? Review all the reports need to be written to. Ad hoc and supplementary reports. This is something which I would say, please go to the menu option and AIS. So there are two types of reports which are there. One, anyone can get in the bank. That you should be taking the. But one person should be only taking out the report from AIS, which is Audit Information System. And let me tell you, it is there in all the three things. I have worked on that. All the three core banking systems has the OAIS part. And you can use Excel or CAT, or if you want to use SQL, you can also work it out. Okay? So friends, this is all which I thought I'll share with you because of paucity of time. It's already 5:50, I was given 45 minutes. But what I suggest you all is a net what you should be knowing is, when you are doing this audit, you should be focusing on something which we call as exception report. These are some of the exception reports which are there. You can see it for yourself. Authorization and limit change. You know, I hope you know every bank manager has some authorization which are there. By the way, this presentation is already given to the branch because the team has it. This presentation is there with you, sir? No. Okay, anyway, it is given to you guys, it will be shared with you. You can actually go. I have listed down each of the exception report which you should be watched, and I have made it generic. I have not shown it for financial accounting, only which are there in all the three core banking system, I put it up. So you can see the GL code reviews, manual debits, anything which has happened. Anywhere there is a manual entry and change being passed are something which you need to review now, because these are all red flags, okay? And all the exception reports of end of the day and other things need to be looked into. So these things, if we can cover it up, friends, more than enough. I would say that should cover everything what we need to cover it from a perspective of all of the things. So let me just go last two slides here. What are the documentation and work paper? This is something which our chartered accountants are not doing it very well. I would suggest this, you can take the kind of a lead in terms of working it out. These things should be there. And audit program, procedure, all your things, electronic evidences, we have just put it up. It should be report or screenshot. Can I take a screenshot as an evidence? I can, provided, don't take it from your mobile phone, the screenshot be taken on the system and it should be mailed from the bank manager's ID or something like that. Everything, I am telling you, they will be very unhappy by the day 5 when you are leaving it up. They will be happy to go late. And that if you would have made them unhappy, you have done a good job. If they are very happy with you, you have done a bad job. Okay? It doesn't mean that you should throw tantrums and all the things. I'm saying professionally, you should make sure all these things should be there in terms of doing. Okay? And reporting, I hope all of you know about each of this idea already been covered. So in summary, quickly, with more and more things which is getting into that, please use the AI system and the main menu for reporting extensively. Use your Excels and other things which is there. And please remember these things. Banking without IT or mobiles is non-existent today. I hope you agree to that point. Also, banking minus appropriate IT controls is high risk of fraud and errors. And third one, branch audit without considering IT risk is an audit risk for you and your bosses. So you should be very careful of that. And if you don't follow the internal control or financial reporting, ICFR, then there is a professional negligence case can be filed against you. Another thing. So to do a good, efficient branch audit, you should have branch audit with all the IT consideration. Use the tool more effectively. And last but not least, expect the unexpected. This is what is going to happen in every branch audit. After you go all prepared, you can see what's coming out of this apple. So be ready for branch audit. But having said that, enjoy it. This is kind of an interesting area. I'm sure all of you can do wonders because see, when it comes to branch audit, all are equal, everyone goes in the same role. You are part of audit team and everyone can do an amazing stuff in terms of how you make the whole thing work. Okay? And feel free to drop me a mail or anything if you want the presentation or any doubts are there. My service level agreement is 4 hours, which means I will respond back within 4 hours. Okay? That is what, not 12 o'clock night, 4 hours. Okay? Like, oh, Thursday 4 hours. No. So I'm just telling you that's how we can do it. So thank you very much for your patience hearing. I know it's last, you are all wanting to go home, but you are still here. So thank you very much. And have a happy auditing. Enjoy your auditing. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for the erudite session. I now request our speaker, CA Priyanka ma'am, to present a token of gratitude to CA Anand Jangid sir.
Yeah, I think I'll take the questions after that. Let me get the moment to hear. I'll be here.
A big round of applause.
Okay, thank you. And I hope you know why he takes photograph, evidence. And it was given to the yeah, any questions, friends? You had a question. Yeah, please go ahead.
Is there any due date to submit audit report?
There is a
Due date.
Sir, basically every branch, every bank is coming with a separate, not due date. They will say we wanted to finish it by this date.
Yeah.
So what happens is, I hope within the payment you give it, it will all be compiled and all things. I'm just telling you what I have seen for Canara Bank and 2 other banks. They have given Canara Bank, the one which you are doing is given time till 18th of April. I know other 2 banks who are given till 15th of April. On average, every bank is giving around 15 to 18 days. Why they are giving it intentionally? Because there has been a lot of questions being asked that boss, you are not giving us time. So yes, they are doing it, but still, I'll tell you, the pressure will start from you on day one. I am telling you, there are some branches, sir. The day you go, he will come out, sir, sign everything and go home. Okay? Or come to, will take you to job first for a party and all the thing. They want to do it. So, but you should do your job properly, sir.
So there is no due date prescribed by the RBI?
No, RBI says, see what happens is, as a branch auditor, they will, there is something called SA 402, service organizations. There are other things where you are using the work of other auditors and other SAs are there. So central statutory auditors are applying on it. But you can go with an assumption very standard, 15 days. Within 15 days of 1st of April, you should be finishing it off. And that's why they give 1 or 2 branches to every chartered audit.
Even if that time is not sufficient for the auditors,
then you have to escalate that to central statutory auditors and all. It becomes a little messy if you try to do that. See, there are a lot of cases where you get fight mode and all thing, auditors and bank manager will fight and all thing happens. But I think that becomes messy. Why should we get into that? Let's professionally do our job. If things are not coming, we should put it on NOCs and everything and come out of that thing.
Instead of that, instead of all the CA members,
Sir.
ICA, why can't ask the RBI to set a limit?
Yeah.
Or
you saw that what RBI director is telling. See, what has happened? Okay. Sir, is the recording closed? Is this wrong? Oh. So, diplomatic answer. There are a lot of challenges because, there will be a conflict of interest from institute also. If we only do, it is like we are transferring it to our members and all things. Plus, it's something that happened, like I hope you know there's a long history. There used to be a time when RBI used to allocate it out, then it was gone to bankers. Then right now, if you know this year onwards, institute has given their software for allocation of things. It will take some time. See, maybe in future if you guys get do good job, amazing job, find a lot of frauds, like Neerav Modi kind of case, we will be very happy. Then the institute can go and talk to the RBI and say that, see, our guys have done such a great job, we should be getting that. But right now, we are on a back foot, most of the time. Make sense? Yes. So, thank you. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Sir, this is with regards to, as you said, there are add-ons to the
Yes,
software.
Yes, sir.
This classification of assets can be manually.
Basically, manual override is there, sir.
So, how do we come to know that it has been done manually?
Very good, sir. So, how many of you know a term called log, audit log, LOG? Have you, in your IT book, somewhere you have read this audit logs? So, sir, there is something when you go to an exception report, when you go for LFR related line items and all things, it will tell you that this many accounts were overrated. So, you can actually pull it up why this has been overrated. You can ask the bank people on that. That information is there, sir. Always there in the exception AI small it is there. Okay? Any other question we take offline because many of you want to go home. Thank you very much for my side. Okay?
Thank you, sir. I would like to propose the vote of thanks now. On behalf of Sikasa Bangalore, I would like to extend my gratitude to all the dignitaries for the enthroning conduct of seminar. I would also like to thank our chairperson of Sikasa Bangalore, C.A. Divya ma'am, for encouraging and providing the necessary assistance for the successful conduct of the seminar. I put forth a big thank you for the audience for their presence and making the seminar interesting. An event to be successful requires a lot of preparation. I take this opportunity to extend my gratitude to the staff of Bangalore branch and also the student committee of Sikasa for their assistance and involvement in making this seminar a successful one. Thank you everyone. A small announcement. Who and all missed today's seminar? Your friends who are willing to come but couldn't make it. There is a retelecast of this on Monday at RCR branch from 9:30 to 5:30. They can attend over there and with a delegate fee of ₹75. It will be held at RCR branch on Monday. They can attend over there. Please spread out this message and request you all to attend all the upcoming events of Sikasa and also the speakers forum. Thank you everyone. Have a great day.